So, I'm going to tell you guys a story about when I was institutionalized, whenever I was trying to take my own life. I had... I'm gonna cut to this. Basically, I OD'd on a lot of Depakote, a lot of lithium, a lot of Latuda. It was 3 different types of pills, 120 in total. I'm not sure why I didn't die, why I'm still here. I am, though, thankful for it. But, yeah, I was in the hospital for 3 months, just by that. I went to WBI, which is Wyoming Behavioral Institute, which is where I would get sent. But I was there for an additional, 3-4 months, something along those lines. And mind you, it was an acute unit, so it was only supposed to be for 2, maybe 3 weeks max. And during that stay there, I made a lot of memories and a lot of friends that, I ain't gonna forget. Yeah, and a lot of friends that turned out not to be friends. But while there, I was still trying to, take my own life. I was cheeking meds. People were cheeking meds, and I was giving them snacks for their cheeked pills. I found a piece of metal in this little, this yard, by the back window. And I brought it in, smuggled it in, and I didn't sleep that night. And I think I was on, the verge of psychosis, and I was, tripped up on Adderall. But I wrote on the wall in my blood from this fucking, I don't know if you can see it, but, yeah. And I tried to sleep, and I heard the janitor lady come in that night. And I felt really bad because she was like, oh my fucking god, this fucking kid. And I was like, oh. I felt so bad because she was so mad, and she didn't deserve that. She was super sweet. That set aside, there were good times. Okay, it wasn't all shit, I want to fucking kill myself. No. There were good times just as well as there were bad, and that is with every single thing in my fucking life. But yes, I did make friends. I got really good at chess that time that I was in there. But chessboard got banned because one of the kids in there, this country bumpkin kid that came in, and it was his 3rd night in there, he took the pieces into his shower. And I got out of the shower first because it was shower time. Came out, got the chessboard set up, put all the pieces out, and the king and queen were missing from the black side. So, I go out into the hall and talk to the fucking nurse, whoever's on staff, I don't remember, Chandler. I'm probably not supposed to give you names because of HIPAA, but, But yeah, he came out, staff asked him about it, and he said I was experimenting. And I have this trans friend named Finn who, went into the room, grabbed them from the shower, with them in her hand, took them out into the hallway, and covered them in hand sanitizer, and rubbed them together. I didn't want to play after that. I was good. I was okay. I got into a lot of fights while I was there, and I'm not proud to say that I very nearly did permanent damage to a couple of my friends at that time. Just because I was so hypersensitive about everything. I was so explosive and angry. And I was fighting staff. The only one that could get me was fucking Jared, and he was 6'9". He was a big dude. So yeah, I got fucking booty juiced quite a few times. It was Thorazine, Trazodone, Benadryl mix, the trifecta, bro. Shit had me out for 23 hours at a time. But I got out, and I did rehabilitate a little bit. There was some shit with me and my sister. She convinced me to take Benadryl with her again. and we overdosed. I took 30, she took like 45. While I was in the hospital that time, I fought cops because they were trying to take my blood, and while I was still delirious, I didn't want them to take my blood because I didn't like the idea of a needle going into my arm. I was like, they already took enough. But security was called, and we did have like a scuffle. And I remember yelling for my sister and my mom, and they weren't there, and it was really sad. And I kind of blacked out after that. I think they fucking put something in my leg. But I did get out, and I was still kind of woozy, not feeling quite normal. But I was there for like a week, and that overdose made me really rethink some things. And it caused a lot of my relationships to falter because I was seeing a lot of people for who the fuck they were at that point. Because even someone I had trusted had led me down a bad path. So I realized that more than just like my sister could do that. That's blood. If blood can do that shit, there's no fucking stopping it. So, I'm thankful to be where I am now. I cut all my ties. I burned all my bridges. I'm restarting. I'm restarting here. I'm fucking working out. I'm eating good. Being healthy. I got my pet. I draw. I do my hobbies. I record for y'all, even though y'all don't fucking watch. Y'all are gonna watch one day. And that's okay. Because, time will tell. Time will tell. But yeah, it's not something that's uncommon for me. And I just wanted to, post something a little bit relatable. But yeah, I've overdosed 3 separate times. I've been to the hospital for those overdoses 3 separate times, and 3 separate times I got sent away for overdosing and like trying to take my own life. I've been sent a couple times for like cutting myself. Like I'm not a stranger to the mental health world, and I can tell you with confidence whenever I say that even if it's hard, even if the shit you're going through feels terrible and all consuming, like I had my mom tell me she didn't want me and I tried to fucking kill myself. But truly, it's you can get yourself out that situation. You can gather resources. You can, even if you're not 18, you can get the fuck out. Okay, you can. I did. I'm not 18. I got out. I was working while I was homeless. I got enough money to export myself, and I had adult friends who put their ID on my tickets so that I actually could leave. It wasn't comfortable. I was on a bus for 60 hours with a bunch of meth heads and seeming pedophiles. I won't point fingers and say for sure, but he made quite a few passes at the younger looking women, and none that were closer to his age. As well as myself, which was kind of odd. But, I did make it. I ain't sleep whatsoever. 60 hours from Casper to Buffalo to... I went from Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and kind of just followed that top up until we got to, like, Pennsylvania. Then we went down to Maryland, and then in Baltimore, the Baltimore stop, I fell asleep. I passed out, bro. And I woke up, like, 6 hours later. Everyone was freaking out. They didn't know what the fuck was going on because I wasn't answering my shit. Like, they thought I had died or gotten kidnapped or something. However, I called people up, I got shit arranged, and I was picked up, and I was, like, emaciated, bro. It was bad. I was, like, 130. Mind you, this whole time I was living off, like, liquids. I was counting calories. I had Arizona tea. I had, like, 3 bottles for that entire trip, and I was just sipping. Just enough sugar and just enough carbs to, like, keep my body active. I did the bare minimum, but to give me the most out of it, because I had to. I had very little, so I had to do what I could with it. And I did. And now I'm here. Now I'm fucking working out and getting big again. I'm making more art. This is kind of like a concept, but you know, I have jobs lined up for the future immediately after I get my ID. My father is working on power of attorney going to my uncle so that he can, you know, help further that process for me. Yeah, y'all should really stick around because I'm not lying whenever I say that I'm gonna be something. Like I've been through too much to not be something, to just fall into the background. I gotta be known. And like, I don't got to, but I'm going to be. And, you know, I'm not getting many views or, you know, much of anything right now, but that's currently. It will change. I'm recording on my phone right now. I know the quality's not the best. Once I start gaining more of a following and once my goals are in the midst of their progression, I will buy a camera and like recording equipment and all of that stuff, you know. But as for right now, I'm making do with what I have, which is this cracked screen. It's okay though. But yes, I thought I would give you a little bit of my human experience to try and pull your attention. I don't talk very well. I have CPTSD. My brain is not organized well. It's like the best way I can put it due to repeated trauma. And the only reason I can speak as fluidly and fluently and cohesively, coherently, as I can is because I've done years of EMDR therapy, specifically for CPTSD. Like, whenever I used to talk, I wouldn't be able to get my ideas out, get my thoughts out, get anything out. Whenever I was in a conversation, I was asking base questions and giving base responses. They would tell me about their day, and I'd be like, oh, that's cool, did you eat anything? Yeah, rad, dope, type shit. Like, you know, unintelligent as fucking, and I'm not an unintelligent person. I got a fucking 4.0 GPA for third quarter in my junior year because I fucking could and people were doubting my intelligence. So I got fucking student of the month in all of my classes and I got principal's honor roll and fucking a 4.0 GPA. And then the next semester I brought it back down to a C and a D. Like, it's because school's fucking retarded. I'll say that. Because schools, it's not helpful. It's just not. It's mass indoctrination. And the education that you do get is a form of regurgitative intelligence. So you'll, instead of absorbing the knowledge, you keep it at a very baseline level. And then whenever it's needed, like on that test, you spit it out. And then it's never remembered again. And that is the most inefficient education system ever. Because we're not being taught how to build a business, how to get rich, how to, you know, do all the things that the American dream is promising. We were taught, like, fucking y equals mx plus b squared. Like, we need base math, obviously, and we need the language understanding and comprehension, of course. I think that the financial literacy is fantastic that they are finally implementing that into the required credits. I think that's amazing because that'll teach you taxes, how to pay your bills, everything. That's good shit. But that's not required in most states. And still they're getting you to do very baseline things. It's, so yeah, I dropped out. I'll get my fucking GED. It's the equivalent. And I have a job guaranteed for whenever I get my ID to make more than, you know, minimum wage as a graduate would, even without my GED. So, you know, and that's not like a flex. I don't mean that as a flex. I mean, like, I am excited to get into the workforce and start generating funds to, fuel my independence. Because that is, the earlier I can start working consistently for good pay with good hours, the sooner I can support myself and start beginning the foundation of supporting a family. And that's the end goal, but that's down the road. Right now, I need funds to get a car, get a house, pay for my permit, like everything up to that point, food, shit for my lizard, shit for my art, shit to make more shirts. I want to fund my hobbies and, enjoy life. I've had my fair share of relationships, and, there were some that I could have improved on. I don't know though, bro. I just been with hoes. Like, and I don't say that as, a lot of people seem to think that if you're with more than one bad person, and everyone's starting to say that you're bad, you're the bad person. Like, I don't know how true that is. Alright, because I've never cheated, never laid my hands on a girl, never forced them to do something they didn't want to. I let them, I request they initiate anything, because, I don't want to be put in a situation where they said I didn't. So, I think it's safe to say that all of my exes are hoes. One left me for, and actually 2 of them left me for pedophiles. One was the same one that essayed her whenever she was 7. At the time we were both, she was 14, I was 15. This dude was like 21. The next left me because she was my sister's best friend. And then the one after that, fucking, I'm not even gonna get into that. That's like 2 years of my life wasted, bro. I proposed to that woman, and she refused to come with me and cheated with the same dude that she told me not to fucking worry about. That same dude. It's okay though. Before they even got together, it was already reported on that he had venereal diseases, and that he liked doing stuff with age inappropriate people. But that's besides the point. I don't need to worry about them, because that situation took care of itself. I am here though. Let me know what kind of content y'all want to see, because I'm a new content creator. I don't exactly know what I'm doing, so I'd appreciate some pointers from anyone. I hope that I am able to articulate myself not really. My mind's foggy sometimes. I have like good streaks and bad streaks. But yeah, let me know. Come to my page. Check me out, gang-a-lang.